being homeless for a year straight.
How old are you at that time?
11.
11.
Like, yeah, turning 11 around that time. And I had to sleep in cars with my mom.
Armani is an 18-year-old barber and content creator who went from living out of a car with his mom to building a business that now brings in over $15,000 a month.
The most I made in a month was $15K.
What started as cutting hair at a young age turned into a career, a platform, and a way to change his life.
Okay, what's your purpose on this earth? Like, are you here to inspire? Are you here to just collect money and cut hair, and just, or are you gonna make a platform to potentially inspire people to be one of the greats, to leave a legacy?
Today, he's one of the young rising names in the barber industry, building both a loyal clientele and an audience of over 70,000 followers across social media.
We're all wanting something. The only differentiating thing that's gonna make you receive that is doing what others won't.
Armani, thank you so much for being here today.
Dude, my pleasure, bro. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. First podcast
First podcast?
ever.
Nice, okay. Which is bizarre because there's a million of them out there. So.
Right? Dude, hopefully first of many.
So at 18 years old, you already have a barber business up and running.
Correct.
What's that got to feel like?
I mean, it feels amazing, bro. I've been doing this for already like 3 to 4 years, seriously. So, you know, I love getting ahead of competition. In my opinion, I'm getting pretty old.
No, yeah, at 18?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing this at like 15, so.
So let's talk about it a little bit. Real quick before we dive into it, what do you feel like your experience, your barber experience, separates from just another barber experience?
Right. So I tend to like always view my business kind of like a company. Mm-hmm. Just like you go to LV, let's say you wanted like a t-shirt. You're not just going to go to LV if you want just a t-shirt, you kind of buy into the brand. So what I focus on a lot is my content, and you're kind of buying into my brand, the Armani Cuts brand on Instagram. It's like the feeling you get when you purchase that product. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I tend to market a lot of problem solution content, and I get a lot of people that just come just solely they want to be on video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty dope. They'll come in already and they're like, "Oh, Armani, you can do a video on me?" And I'm like, "Let's do it."
Yeah. I feel like, because I've seen a lot of your content, your footage, I feel you do definitely create an experience. And what I even noticed a lot of people saying, because you ask this question all the time, so your cuts it's about $65 to start. And what they tend to say is that they like the experience, they like the vibe.
Definitely.
How'd you build that whole vibe behind it? You're playing some oldies in there, some good music.
Oh, yeah. All types of music, bro. So I think what creates like a likable character, just in general, you just got to be charismatic. You know what I mean? Be energetic. Be like that person that they just want to be around, want to tell stories to. And yeah, these kids come in here and it feels like they know me. I'll get a first-time client, never met them in my life. As soon as they walk down in the door and greet my hand, there's like this kid and he's like, "Oh, hi Armani," and I'm like, "Oh, what's up, bro? What's your name?" You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was definitely a lot of hard work to build that brand where they come in already feeling like they know me and comfortable enough, especially for camera purposes.
And most of your clients are finding you from social media?
100% of them. So,
really?
Yeah, due to the fact I cut in like a very secluded studio. There's no street traffic. There's no windows. There's no barber pole outside. It's not even on like a crazy main street. So the only really way to book me or know that there's a barber studio in that building is through online.
So before you even started putting your content out there online, do you feel like before that you weren't getting much traffic? It was probably just referrals, word of mouth?
Anything like prior to charging 50 was very like circumstantial, I call it. School, you know, oh, this guy knows me because he played on my soccer team. So he comes and tries me out. But it's two different ballparks when like you start going a little higher up in price and marketing yourself to be like more luxury barber, more like content creator, scaling your business type of barber. So
So let's talk about it though. How did you find that price point? So you said 50 and now your baseline is 65. A lot of other barbers charge 20, 25, 30, and 65 when people first hear it may be like, dang, that's a lot. How did you position that to be your price point?
so it's never off it's never off just your feelings, kind of like, oh, it's time. It's been a while. And you just look at the clock and you're like, yeah, it's been a year, so every year I'll go up. No, we do it like numerically with data. How much percentile is getting booked every week? How many slots do you have? Oh, okay. Are you really in demand? How ahead booked are you? And from there, you just go up in price. So it's more strategically. It's never just because I feel like it. And that's something I learned when I went up to 50 and investing into my barber education and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, with what you're bringing in, how many clients do you think you're cutting each day?
Not a lot, bro. Like,
No?
not a lot at all. Like, even I get a free up time to basically do whatever I want, which is where people kind of get confused and like, that can't be. And a lot of barbers, like in the below price point, will kind of be like, well, you're not booked. But being booked isn't the goal. And like essentially in life in general, the goal is to have free time to do what you want.
Yep.
To do what you really love, to find what you really want to do. I enjoy surfing. I'm a beach kid. I love making time for that. Spending time with your loved ones, your mom. They're not going to be here for much longer. So I think the more flex is, if anything, making slightly less, but having way more time. Maybe even already go on to the next business. Use that free time.
For the people who see you online and all the kids and everyone who comes in for these cuts, they see what you've built, right? They see your studio, they see maybe the car you drive, all this stuff. What do people not know about you that maybe would surprise them?
Yeah, so my upbringing is really what shocks a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I've been testing this year and putting my story out there. And it took a while, honestly. Like, I was very, I would hide it for a bit. I was kind of embarrassed. I was like, nah, I don't want to tell people. But my upbringing, I grew up in East LA in this like back house. And, pretty rough childhood. My parents had me young love. And I was aware that I grew up in the hood. So, yeah, we grew up very poor, very, very poor. And I had to sum it up, I had to, figure stuff out on my own. My dad wasn't really like in the picture. And that's where a lot of this like hunger comes from a young age. And yeah, nobody really knows I used to sleep in cars with my mom. There's times in school where the teachers would have to sneak me, the lunch. And like just a bunch of like around that time, like middle school, I was just like struggling. That's where like I guess emotionally, I'm more attached to like money. I know the importance of it. Kind of like the analogy I tell people is, you can learn how to swim through taking classes and working your way up and putting your feet in and then having your hand right here and then kicking, right?
Yeah.
Or you could just jump in and drown and then be like, oh, okay, damn, I learned how to swim now, but I learned by drowning.
You mentioned your dad wasn't in the picture much. How did that influence you in the decisions you made growing up?
Definitely. So what I like to do when I think of him is think of all the bad examples, and I kind of just use him on what not to do. He was heavily into doing a lot of drugs, very drug addicted, all types of drugs. Like I probably can't even spell or pronunciate a lot of the drugs he did. Bad decisions. He was in and out of jail. So like typical East LA stuff. If you know East LA, it's pretty common out there to not grow up with your dad or have him in and out of jail. There's this in my elementary and middle school, they would host during around Father's Day. It's called Donuts with Dad. That was just Donuts with Mom part 2. Like all the moms would come, and yeah, nobody really has a dad out there. Even my dad's brother, he's doing life in jail. So like, yeah, just pretty rough place to grow up.
Growing up, when you were seeing that, you were very young. How was that? Did you know what was going on at that time, or did you just think, oh, maybe he's away at work or something like that?
No. So thankfully to my mom, she raised me always with the truth. Always with the truth, which I feel like isn't that common nowadays. Parents try to like conceal stuff for the better, but it ends up being worse in the long run. So straight up, my mom would just sit me down sometimes when my dad was in there and be like, "Yep, dad, bad decision, jail, time for to pay consequence." And I was like, okay. He's
How old were you at this time?
6, 8 years old. This was like, I mean, I knew what was going on. I knew that my dad was kind of like not the best influence at the time, but I mean, it was just single mother stuff. You know what I mean? Always grew up around my mom. She was kind of like leading the household, everything on her back. She was the only one with the jobs. My dad was just very like irresponsible, bad example. Never had a job. Like in my whole memory of him, never have I seen him like put in any effort towards a job. Even late at night, he would just come. It would be like 2 a.m. on a school night, and he'll just come on his bike, like bikes that he steals from like people's little front yards. I'm talking like Tony Hawk, BMX, like the top of the top bikes, and the drugs was crazy. He would just stay up working on them, kind of yelling, tapping on the window, telling us to wake up. And
Now you mentioned you guys had to live out of a car.
Yeah.
You and your mom. What pushed you guys to that point?
yeah, so the drug use kind of tied into that. So my dad obviously got my mom into drugs, and then my mom had a stable job for a while. We definitely weren't too poor, but we're just getting by. Like, you know, it's food for less type stuff, very cheap rent. When my mom started getting into drugs, that's when everything kind of went downhill, because now she was the only one in the house. She actually had lost her job for like a year and a half. And then from there, I remember playing outside, and this is when I really started to notice the landlord would come, and I'm playing there soccer as a kid, just outside being like with the neighbor kids. And on rent day, he would pull up to our little hallway, and it's cash rent. So he knocks on the door, kind of like collects. And I would go inside and then like just hide. We literally couldn't pay it. My mom had no job. We'd have to hide and wait till he left. And I'm right there like kind of knowing what's going on. And that led to some warnings, getting behind on rent from 1 month, 2 months, turned into 3 months. From there, they basically just kicked us out. And then around the time they kicked us out, my dad just totally vanished. Like that was the last time I seen him. So when times got hard, he just dipped. Just total like.
So he left. You guys lived out of a car for how long?
So yeah, it was beginning 2019. So this is like February. Straight evicted us. I got picked up from school that day in a U-Haul. Pretty embarrassing. It was like middle school. I remember seeing a U-Haul, and then my mom just crying with my dog and my brother. And my whole house is just packed right there, and I'm kind of confused. We lived in hotels for about 2 months, because it was still school year. February, March, April, and we're finishing the school year. From there, yeah, my dad was in the picture, and we actually took 1 month. We didn't see my mom. That was like the longest I gone without seeing my mom. And it was pretty hard. Like everything, just all these events at once. We had to stay at my tia's house. So my tia kind of like took some responsibility of us. It was in Lancaster. So we'd have to wake up at 3 a.m., get ready, go out, drive an hour and a half to LA to make it by school. Our school started at 7 a.m. And then from there, yeah, kind of skimmed around. And me and my mom would just, when we couldn't afford the hotels no more, she had nothing. She would just be doing DoorDash, Uber, just like quick money with the car rental. And there were some days we didn't even have money for like a hotel that day. And it was much cheaper to just grab a blanket from Ross, park next to Malibu Beach, and just snooze it, sleep in the car. And yeah, that really molded me as a kid. Just seeing, like literally seeing the worst, seeing how life could be so young, really made me aware of the world and kind of look at it differently.
You mentioned that when what got you out of it was COVID, right? That's what got you out of
Correct.
having to live
Yeah.
out of a car.
Yeah, definitely. So this was more down the line. We got this check. Every parent got some check to go under quarantine for a few months. And it was very relieving because we were like literally right here for so long. It was just make money, pay for the hotel. Make money, pay for the hotel. Eat. So we never really had some like savings around that time. When that check came in, thank God, we signed up and got this studio in Alhambra and kind of got back on our feet after that. But yeah, it's really rough, really rough.
So as a kid, I think this is a huge message, but as a kid growing up and all that, most kids or a lot of people would start falling into the victim mentality. Victim mentality of like, this is all happening to me. I can't be successful or I can't do this because of my circumstances. With your circumstances, it seemed like all of that just inspired you and made you feel that this is not how I want my life to look like. How did you step above that victim mentality?
Yeah, so I had to pull out this inner strength. My mom was drug addicted at the time. So my brother actually went to boarding school. We'll get into that later, but it was me and my mom for a while, being homeless for a year straight. I was in the 7th grade, and I had to be there for her, bro. Nobody. It was literally just me and my mom. I would hear her crying sometimes. You know, she couldn't handle all that. It's a lot. So I'd have to be there for my mom and uplift her. If I didn't, who would? You know what I mean? So I pulled this strength out of me, like, really young to just motivate my mom, be there. We'd be postmating, and she, like, sometimes she'll bawl out tears, and I'll be like, it's okay, let's do this. You know what I mean? Let's go.
How old are you at that time?
11. Turning 11 around that time, and super young. I was just like, okay, what's the logical thing to do? And it came naturally to me. I was like, okay, let's think positive. We're already in this situation. The only way to get out, let's push mom. All right, come on, mom, let's do it. Nah, easy. Nah, I don't need to eat till later. It's fine. Let's do it. Let's do more Postmates. Okay, you'll park up. I'll go grab the food. And then, like, let's solve some problems. Never once did I sit there and was like, oh, it's so hard. Why is this happening to me? I don't believe in that. Like, straight up, just went to problem-solving mode, survival mode. You got to eat in the jungle or you get eaten. Yeah. So.
And where was your brother during all this? Was he in it as well? Or you said he got sent to boarding school.
So eviction notice came in February. My brother was entering high school around that time. So this was ending his 8th grade year. And he was applying to a bunch of boarding schools. It was kind of in the air that he wanted to do it. Obviously, my mom was brushing it to the side because that's a lot of stress. A lot of events happening at once. And then you got her oldest son telling her that he's thinking of going across the country, Boston, New Hampshire area. And kid you not, my brother is like one of the smartest kids out there. He applied to a lot of them. It was like Andover, all these fancy high school boarding schools. He got into the best one, like the top one. You could literally Google best boarding schools in the United States. The first one that'll pop up, it's called Phillips Exeter Academy. Free ride. He got a full free ride, everything around that time. So it was a blessing in disguise. And he just took the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I did see how that affected my mom. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like a lot of the emotions came in. She lost the house. My dad left. And next thing you know, my brother is going to be gone for the next 4 years. But, I mean, down the line, we do appreciate it. At the time, though, it was a lot. It was a lot, yeah. So we're right there, homeless, suitcase. My brother has a big suitcase, and he's about to go to boarding school. And we got our suitcases. We don't even have a house. Literally, we have all our house on wheels in the airport because around that time, my Japanese grandma, she lives in Austin, Texas. She housed us for like a good month in the summer. It wasn't nothing permanent. And around that time, I wasn't sure if I was going to stay in East Los Angeles, keep going to school there. I had no clue what was going on. Or I was going to go to school in Austin, Texas and meet all these new people. I just had no clue. So, yeah, my brother ended up getting accepted there, and it ended up being the best thing. Like that scholarship is worth like just the high school alone a good $500,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he studies economics.
Economic. Okay, nice.
Yeah, we're pretty similar, bro. Me and my brother, like,
Yeah.
we're similar in work ethic, and he's just the book kid. I'm like the more creative, visual, hands-on type of brother.
Want to create your own thing.
Exactly.
You mentioned when I was talking to you about, on the phone about the show and everything, you mentioned that you started cutting hair at 12. Right?
Correct.
So going through all of this, what made you pick up some clippers and be like, let me give this a shot at 12?
Definitely. So this all goes back. I was always a creative kid. I had a YouTube channel, and I was always about my hair. I played soccer, and around that time, soccer and hair, they go together. Like, you would think of your favorite soccer player and think of his haircut, Ronaldo. So I always had this crazy gel. It was like Johnny B, huge.
I remember Johnny B.
Yeah, exactly. It was this huge pompadour hairstyle. Pompadour is where your hair kind of just has this huge volume with gel and comb. I was always so particular about that as a kid. From the second grade to like all the way up until high school, I had that hairstyle. So I had this obsession, and I would kind of peek at barber videos as a kid. Just curious, styling videos, how to clean up the ear line. And I even cut my hair one time with my mom's like razor in the shower, and I left like a bald patch. I was like 8 years old. So I've always been into like upkeeping my hair to the point, even this is cool, when we were homeless, one thing my mom always made sure I had was a haircut. So with that Postmates money, with the DoorDash money, she would always make sure that I could get the best haircut. I used to get cut at this place in Echo Park. Keep in mind, it's like 2019. So average haircut price around then, I'd say like $20, $18.
Yeah.
I had these $40 haircuts.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she just wanted to see me kind of happy around that time. That was the only good thing that I got around that time. Obviously, was going through a lot of hard stuff, and I kind of got emotionally attached to haircuts. I was like, this feels good. And now I know, fast forward now, it's like, dang, haircuts could really uplift somebody at their worst. I mean, I was at my worst, homeless, single mom, and I felt on top of the world when I had a haircut. So from there, it was COVID. We transitioned into COVID, and you know how all the barbershops were closed? One thing led to another. I'm kind of right there like, hey, Mom, like, I can't get a haircut. No, the barbershops are closed. And I've always grew up with this mentality, even like with the whole YouTube thing, where I watch something or I watch somebody do something, I get so observative, and I'm like, I could do that myself. Like, I have like the will. I never have this. Yeah, I never have this cap over my head to just consume it. I'm like, dude, how do they do it? Okay, but I could do that. Like, this determination. So obviously I watched barber videos. I was heading into quarantine. I was like, Mom, could I buy these clippers on Amazon? Like, I'll just do it. I'll just cut my own hair. I'll cut Cody's hair. It'll save you money. Let's do it. And a little Google slide presentation. I'm like, if you buy me these.
Did you create a presentation?
Yeah, I was like, Mom, if you buy me these, I could cut Cody's hair. So it's a one-time cost. These clippers are going to cost $40. But trust me, it's better because you spent $40 anyways.
Sales tactics too over here. My goodness.
Yeah, so she bought me these like Amazon clippers, and then it was like this wall. They sell it at like Walmart, this super cheap wall trimmer. And it's go time. They came in the mail, sat up my little 4.5 feet on the counter of my bathroom, and I'm like just butchering myself, bro. Straight butchering. I was turning 12 at the time, like fresh 12. It was like 1 month till I turned 12, and boom, I'm right there just straight cooking myself. I looked like Bert, Bert from Sesame Street, the yellow dude. Yeah, and I made my brother look like a pineapple, but hey, I was so proud of it. It was like this feeling of, dang, I did that haircut? Oh, okay. I would make my brother take videos of me, and now looking back, it was the worst haircut ever. That is trash. I would flame that, but at the time, I was so proud. I was like, wow, this is cool.
So you got that at 12. When did you start taking it serious? Because you're like, cool, I can cut my own hair.
Yeah.
I can cut her hair, my brother's hair, all this stuff. So you're like saving money. You're learning how to cut hair. But when did you kind of go, man, maybe I can start doing this to make money?
Yeah, so actually, not for a while. Not for a
Really?
while, bro. It was just this skill that I had on the side. You know what I mean? Like, if you know how to cook, you're never really going to think to be a chef. And then maybe you'll think to be a chef years later when people are like, dang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had kept this hidden skill. It only took me like a year to get decent. So I was already 13, going to turn 14, head into high school soon. And it was just this hidden skill I had. I went into high school very, very like, I didn't know nobody. You know what I mean? And then this one kid kind of came up to me. I spent the whole first year of my freshman year because I'm new to the district. I grew up in East LA. So like very different, very different. The kids in East LA, they're all like, hey, what's good? Loud, misbehaving in class. You go to Alhambra and it's like good Asian kids that are good at. So I'm right here like very antisocial coming off quarantine. Didn't really talk to kids my age for like a good year and a half. Fast forward, this popular kid, he was popular in our grade. He comes up to me in class and kind of puts me on the spot. He was like, dude, you got a crazy cut. Like, that's fire. Give me your barber's Instagram. I was like, bro, I did this.
You're like, I'm the barber.
I said, I did this, bro. And I kind of was like, oh, this is my chance. You know what I mean? I'm a little shy. I was like, bro, I did this. And then he's like, what? No, just, you know what I mean? He's a little like confused. And I was like, dude, here, I could cut your hair. Gave him my Instagram. He texted me to come the next day to his house. I was like, oh, okay, how do I do this? I need like a suitcase. I didn't have a suitcase, so I threw them all in my backpack the next day, going to school with my clippers. I cut his hair. He posted me on his story. So this is like a popular kid at the time. He posted me cutting his hair on his story. He's like, hit him up for cuts. Hit Armani up for cuts. And it only took a week for like a lot of the kids in the school to be like, oh, are you the kid that cut this guy? And I was like, oh yeah, I did that haircut. Give me your Instagram. Word got around. Eventually I started walking to school. It became routinely. This is already second semester. So like March, spring. It took a while to even tell people that I did cut hair. And from there I was like, wow, I'm making a lot of new friends like this. I'm getting attention like this. Wow, this tool is kind of like helping me with my high school life. And then from there, yeah, I would go to school with this suitcase and I would walk around and I'd just grab all this attention, bro. Like, what's in that black suitcase? You're gonna, super suspicious.
Yeah.
I even had the school security kind of peeking in.
Were you charging at this time or are you just kind of doing exposure?
Yeah, so he was like, how much? I was just, 15. I don't know. Yeah. I was like, 15? I was like, I could buy a little pizza after school. You know what I mean? But, dude, I took a photo. He gave me like 20 something. I was like, what the? I'm emotionally attached to money at that time. So I was like, Mom, I got 20 to cut his hair. I've been doing this anyways.
That first check, how old were you?
I was like 14 and a half.
Okay.
So this is freshman year. And I'm like, wow, I just got paid for something I've been doing for a while anyways. From there, I started cutting everybody kind of in freshman year. And I built up something slowly. Never really made a barber account until I turned like, it was like end of school year. Around end of school year, I started kind of more advertising it. And then from there, I combined my old passion, which was making videos from like years ago on my YouTube channel. I used to make like puppet videos when I was a kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was super I would grab these puppets.
Yeah.
And we're from the hood. So I'm going to be so honest. It's still on YouTube. It's called DDM Productions. And me and the neighbors would just have these puppets. And we'd did crazy stories like the puppets doing drugs and the T-Rex chasing this cop dude. And I don't know. It was just my imagination. I'll do vlogs. Like, what's up, guys? Today we're doing 3v3 soccer. So then it just kind of came natural. My two skills just kind of combined. Boom. And from there, I made my barber account. It was called Armani, and then my full last name Cuts, like all this. It wasn't too professional, but I put 14-year-old barber, and I was kind of getting to the marketing. In my bio, I put like quality over quantity, and
yeah,
I come to you. $15 house call.
$15?
Super cheap.
Oh my.
You know the Cheeto movie?
No, not the Cheeto.
So there's this movie about hot Cheetos.
Okay.
And it runs you down his whole scheme on how he got hot Cheetos to be like the most popular American snack. The janitor. And I was like, okay, what if I just, who cares about the money for now? I could just get a ton of people, as much people to come to me as possible because their barber's charging them more anyways. That was my business plan for like the first year.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'll even come to them. It's like, how could you not say no? You know what I mean? I'm better than your barber. I'll bike to you after school. I'll bring my bike to school with my suitcase. And it was routinely at that time to start just biking to their house. And I was collecting 15, and then 15. I was doing like maybe 4 a day around that time.
How long were you doing that before you're like, I should probably start charging more for this?
There you go. So that also came when I had a lot of people telling me it was a transportation and time issue. See, with house calls, you could only, depending on location, and I had my stuff super mixed. I would bike to like Marquepo, and then my next one was in East LA, and then the last one was like near Monterey Park. So like the geographic made no sense.
You were biking to Marquepo? You were
Swear to
cutting
God.
people at Marquepo?
Swear to God. Somehow they heard from me over there.
I went to high school at Marquepo.
Oh, there you go. You know that bike from Alhambra High School to Marquepo.
Oh,
Like, you got to cross the freeway, kind of like.
Yeah.
I mean, on a 90-degree day in the spring, like, but I was just determined. I have everything on like my little Snapchat thing. I was like, that's when I started like kind of hustling myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it felt good.
Yeah.
Not once did I think of it as something negative.
Where did you jump from? $15 to
So
what?
I went from 15 to 20, and I was like, you know what? Screw the bike. That's too exhausting. I'm not, you know what I mean? Work a little smarter. Bought this plastic chair from Walmart, put it in front of my little garage next to my studio in Alhambra, my home, my house, literally just out of my driveway. And I started charging 20. And that whole summer from freshman year going into sophomore year, I developed kind of people coming to me, paying me 20. I was like, this is way easier. Holy crap, this is like way easier. And that summer I was kind of starting to build it up a lot. And that was the transition from 15 to 20. And then we didn't do the biking no more because that was exhausting.
Yeah, people were coming to you.
Yeah.
What do you love most about cutting hair? Do you feel because of what you felt, what it did for you with confidence and how it made you look, that you wanted to kind of give that to other people? Or was it just solely like, hey, I can make money doing this?
It was both. The money doing this definitely came a little more sooner because that's what attracted my attention. I was like, dude, I can make money doing this. But I'd say like I enjoy, I guess, bringing them confidence. Like I even view it sometimes as you sell an emotion as a barber. You're literally selling them like that feel good. That's what I tend to market on my Instagram. It's not really like, look at me do this taper and then I skin him out and then I scissor trim it. Nah. It's like, dude, what do you think of the cut? And my client's like, bro. And you see smiles cheek to cheek. I'm right here like, woo.
Yeah.
Just kind of bringing that energy into the video. And imagine like this 13-year-old kid viewing it and he's bed rotting at nighttime and he's just like seeing all this charisma through a screen and he wants to be a part of it. So yeah, definitely, I guess, making their day.
Yeah, making their day. Now, with confidence, you seem to carry a lot of confidence and portray it very well in your videos. I mean, meeting you, you do have a lot of confidence. I would say that. But where did that come from? Did that come from, because you said you were shy in school. Did that come from like kind of getting into the hustle and the grind, or did you even have that before?
Yeah, so as a barber, it's a very social workplace. You're in there with your client. I mean, if there's no music playing, you're kind of like, oh, so how's your day? Small talk. And those skills built over time. But one thing I never I realized I don't really believe in like being just introvert, extrovert. Like I kind of don't like when these shy kids put this hat over their head for comfortability that they are shy and they limit themselves. You know what I mean? Because I once kind of was that kid from that little 9th grade era of me like just grabbing my lunch and hiding in the restroom. And it's just something built. That's all I could say. It's something you build, just like anything else. Like you could go to the gym and say you're weak, but you have to build your way up to gain that muscle. It's just a skill you work on, just like anything else. But I don't think anybody should be walking around life just having this title saying, I'm just an introvert, and kind of never trying. You know what I mean? Because I talk to a lot of strangers too, even on YouTube videos. I filmed this challenge the other week where I just went to every beach in LA. No plot, no really clients, just, hey, what's up, bro? You want a haircut? Oh, what's your name? Oh, nice shoes. You know what I mean? It's just something you build over time. And putting your face on camera really changes a lot of it.
Yeah.
When I started putting my face and started talking, oh man, did that kind of skyrocket my confidence. I had to overcome, we're in high school. Every kid in high school kind of wants to look cool and they care about like what they think. So I was over here posting these like super cringy, like kind of barber videos, and I would go to school the next day. Definitely had some haters, but not really caring what they think because it's not serving me.
I think that's a great point though. Having haters, especially at your age, and even as you get older, everyone struggles with it. With being an online presence, how do you deal with the negativity? How do you deal with people trying to talk bad about whether your business, your haircuts, whatever the case? I think that's a lesson for anybody to learn.
Yeah, so with haters, like, it doesn't affect me. It really doesn't. Like, to really sit there and think when these people sit there behind a screen and they'll sit there, you get them so mad. It kind of boosts my confidence that I could trigger that emotion in them. It's kind of like salesy. Like, hey, my video made you so mad. You used energy to type and kind of hate on me. And it's just such a low like frequency act to hate. So you shouldn't really bother. And I've never been hated on by anybody better than me. So it's usually the least of my worries. You can use hate to kind of be like critical and kind of use it to your advantage, but it's rarely that. It's usually just some dude with ego wanting to spread negativity around the internet. And that's not what I'm about.
When did you transition, or how did you transition from cutting hair on a plastic chair in front of your place to being like, I want to up it up. I want to get a studio and start and having my own little business. What age were you and how did you get into that?
So I was 16. I had turned 16 around the time. So this was started junior year of my high school. And man, I had a lot of clients. So I know now I kind of market, oh, I don't work. No. I definitely went through, you have to go through that phase of work, like blue collar, damn near barbering, to get to that hierarchy, kind of like pedestal of having free time. But I was bringing in so much of these high school kids. I'm talking every Saturday I had 25 clients lined up. I'd wake up at 6 a.m., brush my teeth, not eat, and I would end at like 9 with no meals, no nothing. I sacrificed everything just to get them all done. Not 1 minute could I spare. And
wow.
It taught me a lot. Like I was like, wow, this is a lot of people. It taught me time management very young. But basically, to sum it up, I had too many people coming in, bothering the neighbors since it was a driveway. I was cutting hair out of a tent, and the landlord kind of, I understand now, but at the time I was kind of angry. I was like, man, you're trying to hate on me? And I had this little ego. I was like, they're just hating because I'm in. No. I was kind of blasting music and bringing in all these. And then, high school kids, they would come in friend groups and be loud and kind of like shadow box each other in the driveway. So, I got kicked out, forced to move. We found this cool studio on like Craigslist, online, just very on the low. Moved into it right away. And from there, built it. So it wasn't purposeful, but hey, maybe the universe told me, hey, let's just move you into somewhere. How are we going to do it? All right, we'll just send the landlord. Okay. Who knows? Maybe it was my destiny to just slowly transition into a studio.
And were you making when you were already cutting hair and booked in your driveway, were you already making pretty consistent income then?
Yeah, I was making a lot, like a lot.
What do you think
say
a month?
I definitely was around 7 to 8K a month at the age of 16.
What?
Dude,
really?
Working my butt off. So I charged 35 at the time, 40 for design. Bro, you could calculate that. If I have 25 coming on the weekends and about 10 a day on the weekdays and only taking one Sunday off, woo.
Rewind a little bit because, 7 to 8 grand at 16. Getting that kind of money, what was that doing for you? How was that like, okay, I can invest this into the business or what?
Yes.
Any kid coming in that young, bringing that amount of money for you, what were your thoughts? You're like, whoa, nice.
So definitely I mean, you give a 16-year-old kid that much money, like, I kind of did forget my roots at the time. And I was just like, Mr. Ego. You know what I mean?
16,
I bought like this crazy shiny belt. I think it's called BB Simon at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I did go through like kind of that phase. And there was a time where like, I was just so young with a lot of money and I didn't really know what to do with it. I kind of was so emotionally attached. I felt like I needed to keep everything. So I definitely should have helped my mom a lot sooner. A lot sooner. That's one thing I do regret. But I mean, I'm right there like just stacking and then buying clothes, going to school in like this Burberry, super corny, like shiny belt, cool shoes. And I think that was necessary though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to go through something like that in order to achieve that more modest, chill, simple lifestyle.
To understand that.
And I'm glad I went through that at such a young age versus being like, let's say, a millionaire. And then I'm going through that at 20, blowing it on like worse stuff. I'm glad it was just some little t-shirts and belts. And then I kind of got my lesson together. But a lot of my money was stacking. A lot of it. And I had my tunnel vision on this one car because that's the main thing I wanted. So I seen this kid. He went to my school. He had this super modded Tesla. It was like all crazy wrapped. I guess his dad had like this body shop type of like modification. And there's this one time I was like walking down Main Street because I used to take the bus to go do 10 haircuts. I didn't have a car at the time. He just zoomed down like so fast in his Tesla. My jaw dropped and I was like, I need that. I need that. You know what I mean? I remember how I talked about like when I see something, I'm like, okay, how can I? So I came in with this plan to stack all the money and buy it out cash at the end of junior year.
Wow.
And my whole junior year, no fun. I never went to no homecomings, never went to no little events, no football games. My whole high school, I never really went to no football games. Like maybe one in like freshman year, but never once did I kind of participate in any events. Literally every day. Sometimes I would even jump the fence to ditch a class, take the bus just to go fit in 2 more haircuts. I knew school wasn't for me from a very young age. It just wasn't something of my interest. And I stacked all that money, basically like all of it, like just tunnel vision for that Tesla. And I ended up buying it.
Really?
Yeah. So I was 16 years old. It's called a Tesla Model 3 Performance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the sport version. Man, that thing's fast. Even till this day, like you step on it, you'll torque. I think the 0 to 60 is like 3 seconds on the dot.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of it. I'm like, I was curious. I was like, what's he driving? And I looked, I'm like, because I've been in Teslas. And
yeah.
I like Tesla as well. But yeah, you put carbon, you like wrap it,
yeah.
you got lights on the inside.
Typical young stuff. You know, I was still 16 in that phase. So
yeah.
dude, I threw all this stuff on it. I knew exactly what I wanted. Mm-hmm. I even have this screenshot of my car right now, but it was like off Reddit, like this kind of, I just searched up matte black modded Tesla. It was like slammed with all this body kit stuff on it. I was like, I want that. I'm literally gonna get that. Watch me. And I was like, just wait till I get that. Wait till I'm driving. It's gonna be matte black. It's gonna have this rim. It's gonna have this modifications. Be so specific with like what you want that it kind of feels real already. Like kind of like I am gonna get that.
So then you were making that amount of money. You bought a Tesla. Now you move into a studio.
And it was all at once.
Really?
Literally like same week. So I went towards that half of the year, my mom started letting me drive her Mitsubishi because she got back. Oh, she was doing Uber and DoorDash. So I was driving this Mitsubishi around that time. And yeah, like all this just happened at once. It was like May. Moved into the studio, bought the car, and got my license. So I bought the car the same day I passed my driver test. Because my mom told me, you can't buy that car until you have your license. I was ready to buy it like months before. I was ready. Like I was like, Mom, let's go. I want to get it now. She was like, nope. I don't care if you have the money. You need to go finish school, and then you need to get your driver's license before you even think of getting that Tesla.
What was your mom thinking as you're just racking in this money?
It's very new to her, but I think she came to the realization that, damn, this could actually work, and like he's becoming something a little bigger than just your like high school barber that works in a shop. Like, no, I was taking it super serious. I even was cutting some famous TikTokers at the time.
Nice.
Made some connections. These dudes were like really popular at the time. So I went back to school and everyone was like, no way. And yeah, it was so new to me, bro. That year was like a crazy year.
So that year you got the car, you got the studio, you start putting it all together, and then you also started filming content, no?
Yeah,
Right
so
there?
I was filming content before, but it wasn't really directional. It was just like my creative mind. So I'd sit them down, I'd put these nerd glasses on them, and I'd be like, hey, bro, I'm gonna think of a script. Okay, so just say you have a girlfriend and you're gonna have a date, and then if you don't get a haircut, your Tinder date's gonna leave you. And then my clients right there in the chair like, bro, please save me, blah, 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 blah. So it was like very creative content. It still went viral at the time. Because at that time, the barber content market wasn't as like saturated. So it was blowing up. But not until I got the car, moved into the studio, I put my face on camera. And I was actually very shy to do it. I was like pushing it to the side. I was like, dude, I can't do that. Dude, I would even, like my voice would shake when I was like 16 and I was all scrawny and like, I just wasn't confident. I was like, shoot, I don't want to put my face. So I started making mic'd up videos around that time, but it was never nothing serious, nothing consistent, maybe like 2 videos a month. I got complacent when I got the car. So since that was my dream the whole time, I was like, I need that car, I need that car. Once I got it, I kind of felt completed, which is wrong, but that whole summer I kind of started making friends, going out. We would buy these tickets to like Catalina Island, and I thought I had the I made it syndrome and the I deserve it. But again, I do think that was necessary for me to go through kind of that. And I blew a good amount of money that summer. It was like transitioning into senior year. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then you started putting this studio together. You said you spent money putting some floors in. How did you come up with the whole aesthetic with the place? Because it looks clean. You got like a TV, you got music, you got colored lights in there.
I did search up like some videography stuff on YouTube. I was like, okay, what's this called? But there's this barber at the time that I really looked up to. His name was Doc Dammy. This is like 2021, 2022. He was like really popular, millions of followers. And I was like, his videos look so clean. He had a white pull-up backdrop and he threw an RGB light on it. And then he would have his client off to the side. I was like, that looks so clean. I need that. When I get my studio, I'm going to get that. And just taking inspiration from other barber setups, putting everything together and making my own. Yeah, pretty much combining some like really high level backdrop, photography, videography equipment.
Yeah.
Mixed with barbering, which is, at that time, it was pretty new. It's like, whoa.
Now, the specific cut you give, we were talking about it a little before camera started rolling, but what's the cut called again? Because there's something you specialize in, but you can still do a bunch of different hairstyles for people.
Yeah, so it's just like a flowy, more like medium length. I specialize in like texture, which a lot of these barbers, they're good with clippers, but they're not good with like scissors. You know what I mean? So I specialize in like, I'd even consider myself more of a hair consultant plus stylist. Like the barber stuff, I'd say like I am good at fades, but mainly just textured flow cuts is what people come to me for. They'll come in with like hair up to here and they'll leave with like something similar to me, just like a flowy, a lot of curly texture.
And you were telling me you cut that today, huh?
Yeah.
You want to show that to the camera? Do a
Yeah,
little side
I
turn?
mean,
Look at that.
You got the little white pencil.
Wow, look at that.
Literally
Clean.
right before I came here,
Yeah.
did a little cleanup.
Yeah.
I clean myself up like twice a week.
Really?
I mean, you got to represent the brand. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't trust like a fat fitness trainer. You got to always be in touch with the brand. You know what I mean?
For other people listening who want to become a barber or who already are barbers, what piece of advice would you give them in regards to them navigating that kind of career, but also your price point and being able to charge and stand behind such a luxurious price point?
Yeah. So in my opinion, posting is like the most important part. Posting and investing in your education sooner. And I think if I had invested into mentors, scissor classes a lot earlier, I would have been like 2 times as fast progress than I am now, because I feel like the education has changed now. Like, I mean, every few like 100 years, the way we gain information and education is changing. But I think people don't realize now, in like this generation, that we're going through a change. Social media, you can now learn from people that already do it, that blow up off these social media apps. Maybe 100 years ago, you had to go into college and a professor, and then you had to gain information from that and then go into the job market. But now I truly believe investing into mentorships and like online programs from people that have already done it. Obviously, don't get scammed. Do a little research on if this guy's credible or not. But I think that is the most like genius thing of our generation, mentorships. And that's what really kind of helped me skyrocket. Combining that with some creativity and then throw some drive in there and hard work, easy, crush it.
The mentorship, and then especially you mentioned posting online. Posting online is what, I mean, even you said a lot of 100% of your clients are coming from online now, huh?
Yeah, and it was very recently. Like, I just started my YouTube channel like half a year ago. I just posted my first YouTube video. So like, this is something I discovered very recently. I actually was very complacent. Yeah, sure, I was making like 7 to 8K a month, but it was never really super scalable freedom. Because either way, like, what's the point of having all that money if I got to sacrifice my whole 6 days a week to being tied to this chair? So, yeah, I mean, the mentorships, genius.
What's the most you made in a month?
So the most I made in a month was 15K.
$15,000.
It was like my last month.
Wow.
And then it just skyrocketed. I invested into a mentorship earlier this like January, and he mentored me. It was like one of the best decisions I've ever made. I mean, I've already spent over like, I'd say 10 grand on just education. We're talking like seminars, masterminds in San Diego, where a lot of these barbers come together and learn. We're talking my course that I invested into. And I was kind of stuck at this cap for like a year at 11K, maybe 12K, like December, but I never got out of that. And I was like, dude, how are these guys like hitting 17, 15? Some of these barbers hit 20K. And I was like, dude, there has to be a way. There has to be a way. So I learned from, his name's Hakeem Huang, and he was my mentor. Just strategically through content, very recently kind of pulled me out of that. And it opened my eyes on dropping the ego and investing into yourself, which I walked around for so long thinking I could do it myself. I definitely did a lot myself, but sometimes you just need that extra push.
What do you think changed from what you learned in the education, from making 7 to 8 grand a month to being able to pull off a $15,000 a month? What do you think you implemented or changed to be able to do that?
Everything.
Okay.
Like everything changed, bro. Like, you have to, because you have to think about it. If you don't change, or if nothing changes, like nothing changes. If you don't go through some sort of kind of traumatic like character change, even the way you wake up, like I was learning how to journal through, even I had 2 mentors, even my other mentor teaching me to wake up early, go in the sun, take off your shirt, write some affirmations in your journal, wear better dress, look like money. Like I went through such a character change. Okay, what's your purpose in life? Digging so deep into me, and I was like, dang, dude, it's not just it. It's some spiritual stuff. It's like energetic. Okay, what's your purpose on this earth? Like, are you here to inspire? Are you here to just collect money and cut hair and just go back? Is that your only purpose on this earth, just collecting haircut payments? Or are you going to make a platform to potentially inspire people to be one of the greats, to leave a legacy? So I went through just a huge kind of character change this past like half a year or so, and locked in. I just locked in, serious mode. And that's when I like 3 times my following. Like spring of last year, I had like 10K on Instagram. It was just like very whatever. And when you kind of chase direction and purpose, it kind of naturally just comes to you. I feel like the universe just rewards, you know what I mean? Good energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
So then with you wanting to, you were mentioning mentorship, and we talked a little bit. What else are you working on behind the scenes? You're working on putting together some kind of program or something educational to be able to teach others?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to cut hair forever, and you definitely can't get rich off cutting hair. So as of this past like 9 months, I get a lot of barbers DMing me. Like, it's guaranteed like 3 times a week I'll get them DMing me. Hey, bro, I had a question. So when you record from this angle, how do you get them to not be shy? I'll send them a video. I'm not a gatekeeper. Like, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll just give you a game. You know what I mean? So I'm over here responding and putting all this effort into kind of helping people. Oh, yeah, bro. So you're going to want to do this and kind of get them loose. All this psychology stuff. And I was like, dude, wait, hold on. People want to learn from me. Like, what? This is money waiting right there. It's like, and I feel fulfillment when I do it. I have a lot of passion when I'm sending them voice messages. They're like minute-long voice messages. I'm like, oh, yeah, bro. And then I'm going to send you this Amazon link. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, okay, let me put my head down for a bit. And I was like, it's clearly, remember how I was talking about when I consume something, I go like, I could do that. When I signed up for the mentorship earlier this year with my mentor, after I kind of like finished a bit, I learned so much and it felt like a new me. And I was like, you know what? Wait. This guy just, you know what I mean? This guy just got me to buy his mentorship. I mean, it worked. It succeeded. It's a working product. I am now one of his succeeding students. People want to learn from me too. Why don't I make my own coaching business? So behind the scenes now, I'm building, it's called Premium Tier Barbers. I'm going to launch it soon. We're aiming for fall. And it's everything I know. Mindset. It's going to have modules about video editing, getting your shy client to loosen up, videography. It's going to come with weekly calls. And that's what I've been doing behind the scenes on my free time. Slowly transitioning into something greater, something kind of more impactful. I mean, you could impact somebody through a haircut. Don't get me wrong. When I give them that mirror and they're like, yo, oh my God, it's great, right? But I would feel much more fulfillment repeating my story and taking somebody out of poverty.
Yeah.
Giving what I did.
Yeah.
I got out of poverty through, etc. Let me teach you. Hey, bro, you're making that much a month? So have I one time. This is what you're going to want to do. I wish I was you right now, bro. I wish right away I had invested into mentorships at the age of 14. Imagine if I made a YouTube channel. Sometimes I sit back. I'm like, if I had made a YouTube channel with my 14-year-old self biking to do haircuts. But I didn't. I never unlocked that confidence. Never unlocked that purpose. Because I just viewed it as just barbering. So if I could definitely direct people and get them to win. I actually have a student right now. I'm just testing the waters. I accepted like one student. He already like quadrupled his income. So I know it's a working product, which is where the confidence comes from. And we're just doing group calls. He was making like, when he first joined, $1,500 a month. And he was stuck. Again, he was a kid in my DMs saying, hey, bro, just a question. Like, how do I handle, like, you know how your videos, the subtitles, this and this and that? I was like, bro, I got something better for you. Do you trust me? Let's just hop on a quick call, bro. I'm going to see if and how I can help you. Boom. Signed him up this was like 8 weeks ago. He just hit a 2.1K week.
Wow. Nice.
Money made back easily. And he's out of South Central.
Wow.
So like, and I wake up with so much more fulfillment. Dude, I wake up like, wow, holy crap. That's so rewarding. Like, I'm literally helping this kid financially, mindset-wise. I taught him how to journal. He feels much more greater about himself. And it's just amazing, bro. I think coaching's for me. I always knew I wanted to be like a leader. Even as like a little kid, let's say we're playing soccer. I'll grab the ball and I'll be like, okay, you're on my team. I love kind of controlling, being the leadership type of stuff. So yeah, it's going to go great.
So your best month was, like you said, 15,000. Is your goal now to beat that, or is now the focus, I've hit that goal, now my focus is building this mentorship and being able to scale and bring in income that way?
Yeah, so definitely I'm gonna have to slow down my haircut business for to chase something greater. But no, it's a mountain, bro. I'm always like this. You always gotta climb up. Never satisfied. Never. You always gotta be relentless. I mean, if I were to be satisfied, but my mom still has to go to work, and it's still, don't get me wrong, just because I'm right here, successful barber, high charging, doesn't mean the job's finished. My mom still has to clock into work. There's no retirement plan for her. There's nothing. It's all up to me. Dude, no one's gonna buy me a house, so
Yeah.
exactly. And a lot of kids my age get so like, we have time. Nope, there is no time, bro. Every day you waste, every day you're right there being complacent is another day your parent, your mom, your dad has to go do something they don't want to do. But I don't know. That's just the way I think. I want to see my mom. I took her on her first ever trip through being financially free barbering in December.
Wow, where'd you guys go?
First ever travel. We went from sleeping in cars together, me and my mom. I'm like this with her, bro. I'm a mama's boy, bro.
Nice, shout out
I
to
mean,
all the
clearly
mamas,
I
boys.
only
Me
got one
too.
choice.
Me too.
Exactly. Dude, I'm so like close to her. All the trauma we went through, starving. I mean, bro, there was nights she would give me her food and just, you know what I mean, go to bed hungry. How could I not reward her back? We booked our first ever like nice vacation, Honolulu, Oahu.
Nice.
Dude.
Wait, did you guys go already?
The vlog's on YouTube. So that's when I first started kind of creating the YouTube channel, finding that purpose. Dude, I don't get paid. But guess what? Maybe someone could watch it and be like, yo, dude, he did all that through barbering. So vlog the whole trip. Seeing her happy right there, bro, in that baby blue turquoise water. I'm just a kid from East LA, bro. So seeing the mountain. We went shark cage diving. Different experiences, bro. And it felt good. It felt great.
How long did you guys go for?
We went for 5 days.
Nice.
It was around Christmas. Oh, it was during Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas vacation. So yeah, it fired me. I was like, dude, I need me and my mom and my family to live like this. How do I do that? And that's where the fire started. And then it was earlier this year. Something snapped in me. So shout out to that vacation. That was dope.
It's a great feeling, and I love that you said that. So I did the same thing for my mom. My mom, 2-3 years ago, I did a surprise trip to New York during Christmas. Because I always loved Home
dope.
Alone, right? And
There
so
you
it was
go.
like I was like, I need to see this during Christmas.
Yeah, like
so,
this little city's
yeah, so I surprised her with that and fully paid for a trip, paid for the whole thing. She didn't have to worry about anything. And then speaking of Hawaii, I surprised my grandma in February with a trip to Hawaii. So we just came back from me, my grandma, my mom, my girl.
Oh my God, that's fire.
Paid for that whole trip, flights, Airbnb, dinners, everything. For 5 days we went. And so, but it is a great feeling to be able to do that.
Provide.
And everything I work hard for and want to build and want to grow is solely to be able to take care of my loved ones and the people around you. So the fact that you have that mindset at 18, I think it's powerful.
Well, thank you.
Keep going with that. And dude, you're going to do a lot of big things with that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, bro. She deserves that, bro. You're running up this podcast.
Yeah.
We're both chasing something big.
Yes.
Which is what matters.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all that matters, bro.
In regards to building a business, making money, what would you tell kids your age who complain that they can't make money?
One, get out of that mindset. Because, like, already you are what you say to yourself. Affirmations. So if you're waking up saying it's hard, it's can't, you know what I mean? Change it. Everything's mindset, bro. Reactive state. We could even look back. I came from East LA. A lot of my middle school friends now, they're just one's in prison for like gang banging, all bad stuff. They just went down wrong paths. But guess what? We had the same scenario, same hometown, same classes, same math class. Everything the same. The only thing that differentiated us was like the reactive state to certain problem. Again, the victim mentality. So one, they're going to need to change that mindset. If you go into life with that mindset, you're just going to get blown like a feather. Two, I'd say pay attention to every time you spend money. I mean, that's clearly how money's made, right?
Yeah.
You're hungry, you what? You go buy food, right?
Yeah.
You need a haircut because your hair's long. You spend money, right? Your car's a little dusty. You go wash it. I mean, get creative with it. I truly believe when you service and when you sell like a service, something that helps people, the money's gonna come. I've seen that in real time. When I started focusing less on chasing the money and being all like, you know what I mean? All calculative with money, and not helping people, it just totally changed when I started helping people. Even when I started marketing my barber business as, hey, I'm not just here to cut your hair. I'm here to help you. I'm here to consult your face shape and change the way you feel. You know what I mean? So when you start helping people is when you're going to make the most money, most rewarding.
I agree with that. There was a gentleman who told me recently, and I'm huge into believing, okay, what's coming next for the future or planning ahead. And I even asked him, because he has his own clothing shop, really nice stuff. And he used to work at this other major company. And I said, did you always plan on having your own shop? And he's like, no. He's like, I was just head down and I wanted to be the best at what I did. But by doing so, I learned so much, grew from it. And then as opportunities opened up, then I was like, cool, I'll open up my own shop now. But it is having that mentality of not focusing on the money, focusing on the work and the best product you can possibly put out, whether that's cutting someone's hair or creating a program to be able to inspire other people. So I think that's powerful.
Yeah, bro, like purpose. Again, purpose. Like you got to have some purpose and I guess direction. And bro, like we're in the United States, first of all. So for a privileged kind of kid, we live in this nice country, to sit there and be like victim mentality and think things are hard. I mean, I definitely think there's way worse situations out there in the world right now. We definitely have some of the best ones. Like if you're just going to an American high school with $0 to your name, I definitely think you have much better chance than having to help your family in some farm and getting thrown into labor right away. So it's all perspective, bro. I mean, my life's perspective. I went through some hard stuff, so I know what it's like. And I'll kind of tell, I guess if the message was to tell kids out there, then yeah, I mean, you don't have it the worst. Like, there's always something worse out there. I don't have the worst story. There's somebody maybe, you know what I mean?
As we wrap up this episode, because you make more money than most barbers out there, right? It's because of the hustle, the price point, everything like that. What would you tell other barbers, whether they're younger or even older, 20, 25, 30, who are just kind of showing up and just cutting hair? What kind of advice would you give to them to be able to make more income?
Make more income? I'd say personal branding and stop selling your haircuts like a commodity. So commodity is just something that's there as like, let's say you want just like fast food, you know what I mean? Stop selling it and stop viewing it as less. And that all starts with inner. Again, remember how I was talking about the carrying yourself a certain way, dressing a certain way to work. And that'll definitely help you get into that luxury branding. And your personal branding is going to be everything from YouTube videos, everything from little vlogs, sharing the worst of your story out there. I mean, when I started sharing my story, it got me in, you know what I mean? I mean, rooms like this. It helped me inspire people, got people curious. So definitely just personal branding. Don't be shy to post your face. Don't be shy to tell your audience. Document. A lot of people, just like me when I was 16, I thought I had to be ready. I thought I had to be this guy in order to start. But that will like kill all possible progress. You know what I mean? You could document the journey. People like movies, right? Or you like movies?
Love movies.
If you watch Batman versus Superman, would you skip to the end right away and just be like, he won? Okay, bye.
No.
No, right? As humans, like psychologically, we like that emotional journey. Oh, shoot, the superhero lost his powers and then he trains and then he goes, and then his girlfriend died. And then, you know what I mean? We like that roller coaster. So if you could document that exact feeling on an Instagram, dude, you don't even need to be ready. Some people just follow you because they want to be. You ever seen those TikToks? Day 1 of.
Yep.
There you go. Day 2, day 300 of blah, 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 because they want to wait for that certain goal. So anything could be content. Anything.
Now, that's all content, and I highly agree with you with that. That's the best way to push yourself out there, build a brand around yourself. For the barbers who are old school, who don't want to touch social media, how can they possibly still make more money if they're like, just content's not my thing? What are your thoughts?
Adapt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you don't adapt, you're gonna get, you know what I mean, blown away. Like, even I had to adapt. So if you're gonna, again, the victim mentality, if you're gonna sit here and kind of be comfortable, remember I said the shy stuff?
Sure.
If you're gonna put this cap over your head to limit yourself, then, I mean, if you're completely satisfied with what you're making, being like this OG barber, and you're okay, that's all that matters in life. Me personally, I'm happy with crazy, extraordinary goals. But if you're totally fine living day by day, cutting for like $30 and serving the community, go for it. But if you're sitting there and you hate your situation and you're aware that's not where you want to be and you want more, but you have that cap over your head saying, but content's not my thing, definitely you're going to have to start posting and get over that. You know what I mean? Stop having that victim mentality of it's not for you. I mean, it wasn't for me. I was shy. My voice was trembling on my first mic'd up video. It's a skill you build. Definitely.
Well, that's going to wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Perfect, bro.
Where can people find you? Talking to that camera right there.
Yeah, so YouTube, Armani Cuts, Instagram, Armani Cuts, TikTok. I'm going to be posting crazy content. If you want to sign up to the mentorship, you can follow Premium Tier Barbers on Instagram. I'll help you with anything. And YouTube vlogs coming, Instagram Reels. If you're located in LA, I promise you, stop by, change your life through a haircut. We could talk it up. Let's do it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, of course. And hey, keep hustling, keep grinding. 18 years old, that mindset, that mentality. I remember being that age and having that same mentality. Still have it now, but the way, I think there's one way to think about it, and there's a different thing of actually taking action and making these happen. So yeah, don't let anybody ever say, oh, you're young, you got a ton of time. No, so many people have told me that, and I'm like, okay, but when do you reach a point where now you don't have a ton of time, right? So just keep getting after it, bro. And I think you're doing great, man.
Exactly. If I were to add in something real quick,
yeah, go ahead.
Dude, people think they're special for wanting something. Dude, we all want something. That homeless man wants food. This 9-to-5 worker wants a vacation. We're all wanting something. The only differentiating thing that's going to make you receive that is doing what others won't. So you're not special for wanting something.
Yeah.
We all want that nice thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only people that get that nice thing is people that, you know, put in that work on a Saturday night, put in that just psychotic behavior towards their goal.
Yeah. I
Definitely.
agree. Way to sum it up. Hey, I love it. I love it.
W episode.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It really helps it out. Leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know what you thought about it. I'm dropping a new episode every single Tuesday with a new guest, so come tune in. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Peace.